So it has been a long time waiting, and we finally got the Mustang timed. The best way I can explain how to do this, guys, is you're gonna wanna make sure all of it's timed before you slap on your timing cover, because it would be really nasty, right? Because, I mean, look at this baby. We have all the timing chains already wrapped. You're gonna count not where the timing mark is, but the link over it, and all the way down to the next timing mark, and that's gonna be 31 links. So 31 links should hit that, be right before that timing mark on down there, and it should be right before this timing mark up here. It doesn't matter how you count it, up or down, it should still be the same. And I mean the same. Now what we're about to do is we're about to throw on the timing cover. All the timing components are on, phasers are bolted down, tensioners are on, so there is no more needing to have the timing cover open. I'm gonna clean the surface, and what I mean by cleaning is you're gonna wanna make sure you clean all of this surface up. Take out all gasket maker right here, because you're gonna have to reapply it. All of these marks right here where the head meets the block, and as well as where the block meets the oil pan will also have some on there as well. When we put this pan on, that's gonna be our sealant right here. That's what's gonna seal it together. There is one other spot that you have to make sure that you always hit, and there's always the valve covers go. That needs to have sealant on there too. As you guys can tell, there was once upon a time. You can put a little bit here if you want. Other than that, that's pretty much where you need to go. It is update time, coming straight to you guys from Daily Driven Stangs here. And here is Black Widow, and Black Widow's actually coming out very, very well. I'm actually really impressed with all the finagling that I had to do and everything else. So if you are doing this job, I'm just letting you know, you're gonna wanna give yourself some time, especially if you're not very mechanically inclined. You're gonna wanna give yourself some time. Let me show you what I've done so far. Everything that I have tightened and buckled down. The timing cover is now on. I gotta change out the VCT still. That still needs to be done. I gotta put the crank pulley on. I gotta put the tensioner back on, the idler, the belts, the AC belt that I cut, which I had to buy from Ford. I have the oil pan on now. So all of this is pretty much buckled in. I'm going to smack some oil in here so I can drain out all the gunk that was on the bottom of that pan. And then as soon as I'm done doing that, everything should be in order. I'm gonna start going ahead and putting the harmonic balancer back on, like I said, and a whole bunch of other pulleys with the belt. Then I'll be moving my way back up to the valve covers, and the valve covers are pretty simple to do, so that's the reason why I'm not going to include that in the video, but you guys will see it running. That will be hopefully tomorrow. I want to have it running, and all the oil, I got to burp the system and everything else. That's going to be a little bit of time. I got to clean all the oil that fell down here. I'm going to try to clean the header as much as I can, but it's going to burn off anyways on each header. I got oil all over it when I took off the valve covers and also the timing cover, and then the cams came off, so all the oil fell in there. It was just a big mess. Down here is where I was working for the past few hours now, and as you guys can tell, it is really messy underneath there. I gotta clean all that up. I gotta clean the shop up. I mean, I got everything just pretty much everywhere right now, so it really does suck for that portion. I'm just really happy that I got this done. It's not cheap to do, because you see something and you're like, I should probably replace that. Since I'm down in there, since I'm taking that off, I might as well replace that too. And then you start to notice things and you start to replace things as you go. So definitely give yourself quite some time. For me, I've done this so damn long that I just want to replace everything. So the crank seal, the crankshaft seal, I replaced. The VVTs have been replaced. Every time when you do timing on Coyotes, it is very important to change out the VVTs. You can stay with the same VVTs if they're working proper, but I just, for safety guys, just change out the VVTs and also your VCTs as well, so that way you have all of that stuff that is brand new. And then if you want to, you can be like me and change out all of the hydraulic lifters and the followers along with that. It's a pretty simple process as long as you get the cams in a resting position when you put them back in and you go to tighten down the caps. Make sure you follow the torque spec for those, as well as the torque spec for pretty much everything you put into the car back on the car. Make sure the timing cover is tightened down the proper way, and it also gives you time to look at all your grounds. Now pay attention to your grounds, because your grounds are very, very important. They go to every computer and module that is in your car. If it is corroded, take it off, clean it, and put it back on. Since you're already pretty much seeing all of the grounds, such as the one back there on your firewall, there's one right here, there's one down there, there's just so many grounds in this car you just got to pay attention to. I'm going to go ahead and finish up here, and then I will come back after, once the car is ready to be started, and that will be the final update, and you guys get to see it start for the first time. I just hope that I helped you guys out enough to understand how to time a Coyote. If I didn't and it wasn't very clear, guys, voice your opinions. That's the reason why we have YouTube. Everybody has their different opinion. No matter how bad it may seem or how good it may seem, it is all, everybody has their own mind. Everybody has their own picture. Do that. I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll come back tomorrow when it's ready to be started. See you then. Alright guys, so it is initially the final time that, let's just go over, okay? This car had a lot of issues when I first bought it. Then I actually started fixing it, and then I got hit once in California, then I got hit again in California, and then I got a new bumper, a new hood, and a whole bunch of other new stuff. Now it has a new timing set. We're gonna find out, will she start? Alright, I'm obviously gonna put some more coolant. Alright, so I have it filled to the top at this current moment. My heart is pumping. Got the car key. Go ahead and shoot it. What you seen in the first clip of the Mustang starting was because I forgot to plug in the throttle body. Remember to plug in your throttle body, people. That will do exactly what it did, like it's canned. So after I plugged it into the throttle body, I cleared the codes, made sure that there was no advanced or retarded codes. So far, we're looking good. We're gonna let the Mustang burn all this smoke off. So why it's smoking is because I dropped oil on the headers. Remember I told you guys, make sure you wipe that off or clean it off, because that will happen. I'm going to take it for a drive. It's super dark outside, so you guys are not going to be able to see me anyways. I'm going to take it for a drive, see how she reacts. So far so good, guys. So if you stayed past this point and you watched the amazing timing chain video, I appreciate you guys. But this is more on a depressing level, as well as we all go through it. And it really does suck. Let's get started. We all know that we live a life. And then after that life, we leave. But we teach our family members and people that come in contact with us all around the world, we teach them what we have learned and what we have achieved. And it kind of helps the next generation become stronger in a term, right? Because this generation Gen Z, or whatever you want to call them, it's not going that well. The conversation that I wanted to have with everybody here, because I share my life on here on YouTube, it's not only for my people here on YouTube like you yourself, but it is also for memories for me. I like to keep everything documented, and that way I can come back in 5 years and look at this video and be like, oh yeah, I remember making that video. That's when that happened, and whatever the case may be. It helps. Basically, you guys are my counselors. So let's go on with it. My grandma passed away 2 days ago. It was extremely hard for me, and I knew that I had to go and see her before she passed. A lot of people say the best thing to do is not go see them, because it's only going to make it harder for you in the end. To be honest with everybody here, I didn't get to say goodbye to my grandpa. I didn't get to say goodbye to my great grandma. And not being able to do that kind of made it hurt even worse for me than me going to them and telling them how much I really do love them and how much they really do mean to me. So I'm happy that I actually had that chance to see my grandma and tell her that I love her a lot, and tell her that it's not a goodbye. It's never a goodbye. It's I will see you soon. And it's gonna be our turn eventually too. Life goes by so fast in the glints of an eye. And this is why I try to push people to spend time with your relatives. I know it's sometimes it can be very, very hard in a term, but if we don't spend time with them now, their time might be up, and then we are going to feel more guilt than anything because we should have spent time with them, and it's going to make you not have so much memories, and memories help us through everything. Memories are the best thing to have with your relatives. It also gives them memories of you. It's super duper hard for me in general to deal with the passing. It hits me very, very hard, and I guess it hits everybody differently, but for me it's more of a punch in the chest or in the gut. And I know that I'm going to see them again, just not here. I'm not going to see them here. You will always feel them. You will always know that they're around. You will always know they're seeing your goods, your bads. They're seeing everything, and you may not know what they're saying, but built off of memories, like I said, you can imagine what they're actually telling you from above. If they're telling you, dude, don't do that, that's bad, why are you doing that? Whatever the case may be, if it's something good, you give them that smile on their face and that laughter, and you know, it helps you build a bigger family tree off of memories too. So definitely pick that up if you can. So I can't imagine how my mom feels and how my aunt feels and how my Uncle Bobby feels, because that was their mom. I know throughout life things only get harder. So we live and people leave. My great grandma, when she passed, that was super duper hard for me, and my mom and my aunt and pretty much my whole family. It was just a very hard thing to go through, and I was a very small kid. When my grandpa passed, that was another one that was just really super duper hard for me, because my grandpa actually, I don't want to say made, because that's not the word I want to use, but he helped my grandmother that passed away 2 days ago have a relationship with me and my brothers, and all the boys in the family. She loved the girls. My grandma loved the girls to death. She wasn't very big on the boys, which does suck, but she became custom with everybody. Eventually, my grandma had such a big heart My grandma was an awesome woman. I have so much memories with my grandma that I can actually share with my children. I can actually share information as far as what my grandmother taught me, what my grandpa told me, you know. All of this stuff is we learn throughout our generations, and we help our family members and people that are not our family members, like our friends and people that we come across. It helps talk about certain things in life. But it's just one of those things that is just so hard to go through, to lose somebody. And I'll share some stories with you guys real quick. Because a lot of this stuff I'm not even going to bother editing. I'm just going to just post it. Because this portion is coming from me. It's coming from my heart. It's not coming from something I had to keep remaking over and over and over again. But my grandma and all of us in the family, we used to go to this Christmas Eve thing. We used to have Thanksgiving dinners. We used to do things as far as like Easter. We used to do a lot of things. Me and my cousin always went to go visit my grandpa all the time where he worked at. And we were pretty close to my grandpa. My grandpa, the reason why I'm saying that he brought us closer to my grandma is because he refused to let my grandma not like the boys and only like the girls. Like, he told her, you have grandsons too, and you have to like show them the same attention as you're showing the girls. And it was beautiful. That's all I really have to say. It was a beautiful moment. We went over there one day and we spent the night with my grandma and my grandpa. And we woke up the next morning. My grandpa made us some breakfast, and my grandma was sitting on the other side of her house. So she was doing something on the computer and whatnot. And her husband, which was my grandpa, told her, hey, Lois, you should come over here and sit with the boys and, you know, talk with the boys. And she kind of just murked it off and whatever, you know. And I remember my grandpa saying, Lois, you gotta build a relationship with the boys, because honestly, we're not gonna be here forever. And they need something to remember. They need something to go off of. And then after that day, we went on like Christmas lighting, looking around, and we drove all around with my grandma and my grandpa. And we had such an amazing time. Like, really, I'm grateful that I've had that with my grandpa and my grandma. It makes it a little bit less harder for me because I have memories. Not as much as my mom does, and not as much as my aunt does, and not as much as my uncle does, but I have these memories. There was also another memory where this was years ago, like way long time ago. If you're my OG and you remember my Fusion, when I had my Fusion, I made a day that I wanted to take my grandma to go see the Fast and the Furious. And if you guys know when that came out, you will know when I actually went and seen the movie with her. But we went out and we went to go see this movie, and before I even got the chance to pick her up from her house, she was on the phone with my mom. And I remember her telling my mom that she didn't want to be in the car with me because I'm not a very experienced driver. She didn't like, my grandma has a hard time trusting, and I'm pretty sure something else happened, but I'm not even going to discuss because she never told me. But trauma does set that apart. But she told my mom that she didn't want to and whatnot, and my mom was like, Mom, I go with him all the time. He takes me to the grocery store, he takes me to Walmart, he drops me off at work, he picks me up at work. He has not had an accident. He's a very good driver. And my grandmother was like, I don't know, I mean, I guess I can try, you know. And well, when I went to my grandma's house and I picked her up, I got into my side, and my grandma was so nervous, like she was like literally like shaking, and she opened up the door and she looked at me and she was like, just don't kill us, okay? And we drove off and we went over to the movie theater, her favorite movie theater. She only wanted to go to one. And we went to go see this movie. And then after the movie, I asked my grandma, see, that wasn't so bad, was it? And my grandma was like, no, it actually wasn't. We got to do this again. And I honestly never had the chance to go do it again. And I wish that I had the chance to do it again. To take my grandma and go with her. And I don't get that option anymore. But it's the memories that we build that keeps us strong. And it's the memories that we hold dearly, and we don't forget them. This is the most hardest video I've ever made. And I'm sure I'm going to have many more in my life. Crying is from the soul, and it's what makes you human. It's not guilt. It's mixed. She doesn't have to suffer anymore. She's up there. She has nothing to worry about. She's safe. Then it's the sad part where you have to live your life until that day without that person. And that's what makes it hard. But I loved my grandma, and the only thing that I would tell you guys right now is definitely spend time with your family, because they're not going to be around forever. And when that day comes, it will help you a lot, because you built memories. Just hold it dearly. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. I don't want to break down again. But I love you, Grandma. Rest in peace. I'll see you guys hopefully in another video, and we'll have more to come. Let's build memories together. If you guys have liked the video and you stayed until this end and just was listening to me blabber, please smack that thumbs up. I'm not going to ask you to share this video because it was such an emotional at the end, but if you can, go to my page, go look at the rest of the videos I've created and share those. My job here is to help you, and I try my dearest, hardest I can to feed you information that is going to be understandable. And that is also hard. But just make sure that you smash the like button. Leave your comments down in the section down below. Sorry for the emotional at the ending, but if you stuck around, let me know down in the comment section. And let's continue growing daily driven things. I love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace out.